Hi friends, welcome back to Rachel's Recipes and Vlog. Despite living in Singapore for more than 10 years, we never got a chance to visit the Indian Heritage Center in Singapore. It seems like today was the day. We went out to have dinner and we were lucky to try Anand Bhavan's special banana pongal. And me being on diet, tried the gobi Manchurian. This is the first time my hubby is trying pongal with a vada and he loved it. The next day we decided to go out for lunch. It had been some time since we tried out the yummy Kerala Talasheri biryani. And I was enjoying my meat masala. Didn't know what to do for the rest of the day as we had the whole time in hand. We thought of visiting the Indian Heritage Center. Only then we realized that it was the third day of Pongal. As soon as we entered, they gave us a sticker to put on our tees. Then we were asked to go to level 4, which was the start point of the museum. As soon as we entered, we could see a big wall imprints stating Indians in Singapore past and present. I don't know, is it just the ambience or the word Indians which made me so patriotic? There is a big montage of photos of those Indians in Singapore. There was a 10-minute video presentation which describes the history of Indians in Singapore.
ஆகியவை பற்றி தெரிந்து கொள்வோம் வாருங்கள்.
பந்தகர்கள், பிக்குகள், தூதர்கள், மத போதகர்கள் ஆகியோர் இரண்டு வட்டாரங்களிலும் பரிவர்த்தனைகளை செழிக்கச் செய்தனர். இரு வட்டாரங்களுக்கும் இடையில் நிறைய பரிமாற்றங்கள் நிகழ்ந்தன. தென்கிழக்கு ஆசியாவின் சொந்த பாரம்பரியங்கள் செழுமையாக இருந்தாலும் இந்திய துணைக்கண்டத்தின் கலாச்சார கூறுகளை அது தத்தெடுத்துக் கொண்டது. இந்து பௌத்த செல்வாக்கும் பின்னர் இஸ்லாமிய கிறிஸ்துவ தாக்கங்களும் இங்கு வேறு கொண்டன. இந்த வட்டாரத்தில்
பம்பாய், கல்கத்தா, மட்ராஸ், நாகப்பட்டினம் போன்ற துறைமுக நகரங்களுக்கு பலர் வந்தனர். அங்கிருந்து எஸ் ரஜுலா, ஸ்டேட் ஆஃப் மெட்ராஸ், ஜலகோபால் போன்ற நீராவி கப்பல்களில் பயணித்து.
After this, we then headed to the archaeological findings. They had all these sculptures beautifully maintained, which represents the culture and history of India. This is Sachitina Doorway. This intricately carved entrance doorway with its jambs and lintel panels consisting of about 5,000 minute carvings. This is a carved ceiling in a prayer room. They had these beautiful tunics and a dress that was worn in the 1960s. This was a christening robe worn in those days. These are lacquer pots and box used in the 20th century. These are some of the wedding invitations printed in those days. These are those wedding sarees worn in the 1960s. Some of the actual wedding pictures of each religion was displayed here. They had a display of various types of auspicious thread that was used in different culture during a wedding. These are the turbans used in those days. These miniatures show how those turbans were used. These are some of the head ornaments. And these are the waistbands made up of gold and some of the accessories that they use while wearing a sari or any attire. In those days, they wear these long blouses. This is one of the blouse and a sari used during a wedding. They had these beautiful paintings depicting each Indian culture. These are some of the artifacts that are kept inside a worship place. There were a lot of artifacts pertaining to the Hindu religion. Looking at these statues' attire, I remember my childhood days. My sister and myself, we always draw a woman wearing a sari, and almost every time the sari used to be in red or green color with these polka dots. These are some of the gold accessories used in those days. Throughout the museum, there are jewelry, stone sculptures, costumes, wood carvings, and vintage suitcases that were used by Indian immigrants. I don't know how much these beautiful necklaces cost now, as the gold price is hiking up so much. There is a huge LED information screen, and if you tap on it, It gives details about that specific area, the culture, and region. Interestingly, all these Indian paintings were done by non Indians. I love the color combination on this wall. These are some of the wooden furnitures and accessories used in those days. Have you remember seeing one of such suitcase? I remember my grandma used to have one, and that was called trunk petti. This box had artifacts about travel between Madras and Singapore. Looking at all these artifacts, it made me think what it would have been if I had lived in that century. We then proceeded to level 3. There were so many items there, each one had a description. We never realized how much time it took. This exit was beautiful. We can see the outside world as we stepped into the next level. This section features the contributions of early Indian pioneers in Singapore and Malaya. You will be actually intrigued to learn more and more about Indian culture in Singapore. These are the common items used by the moneylenders. There is a box always having the agreement paper and cash. These are the tools used in the rubber plantation. are some of the advertisements used in those days and the commonly used businesses. Some of the commonly used music instruments in those days and still being used. These are some of the news cuttings. This section shows the prominent Indian leaders. These sculptures, including Mahatma Gandhi, are on loan from the Indian government. This is how a photo studio will look in those days, and indeed, we too took our photos here. These are some of the golden memories of our national leaders. This is an autograph of Shri Jawaharlal Nehru and Srimati Vijayalakshmi Pandit. There was a huge montage of frequently used stamps displayed here. It was interesting to see a handbag made up of parachute threads. This section portrays the achievements made in the sports and in the recreational activities. These are some of the artifacts used in the Justice Department. This was the final section which showcased the contributions of Indians in Singapore from the late 1950s to the 1980s. Since it was a season of Pongal, they had this beautiful rangoli made, and they have set up a beautiful place on the last floor which depicts how a Pongal is celebrated. If anyone is yet to visit the Indian heritage, then I would definitely recommend you to visit, because this place brings back a lot of memories and we will be appreciative of what we have today. After that, we came back home, and on the way back home, we could see beautiful stalls like these having all those wonderful accessories that we can find it in an Indian shop. I was reliving my Chennai days here. If you like my vlog, Please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing it with your friends. Till I meet you next time. Bye bye.